Hi, it is iYikKam time again. So after I release the YouTube, the technology history of Wing Chun, the Wing Chun Din mixed with don't mix with Tai Chi, and the facts of Wing Chun YouTubes, I got a lot of messages, and this is the time which I get most messages, and it seems that many Wing Chun friends are now concerned what is going on and what is going to come. Okay, and many friends even ask me, well, what should I do? Okay, do I practice this proper? Do I practice that proper? So if you like the open source platform or the Wing Chun West education platform, which is an open source, saying same thing, then here I like to share with you a map which I have been working for years. Okay, so you can see what happened and you have a tools to handle what is going to happen, okay, and proceed. So today I like to share with you this rather long video, but I want to clarify things for you. Okay, so I like to provide solution for you, so you all be success. Okay, because this is about education. It's not about me or anything. Okay, it's education. It's about you, and of course it's about Wing Chun. All right, now. What is the current situations of traditional Chinese martial arts around the world? Today is July the 5th, 2017. So what is the situations now? I like to show you some photos and some clip. Okay. So in China, this is in China. From the China, this program. Here in this program is saying that the traditional Chinese martial arts problem has been exposed. And one of it is like a cult, running being like a cult. Okay, that's from mainland China. And here is what happened in Taiwan, where Tai Chi is challenged point blank by this person.
At my Shopify store from January 1st, 2015
One
to
second.
December 16th, 2015 有演一个台湾
Okay.
一个太极的影片，你看到最后你会笑死。
This is a
一个太极
challenge.
的影片，你看到最后你会笑死。太极不服来，不要打。你们最后有演一个嘛？有演一个台湾2016年太极表演，你们表演，你们这样表演的。
So this he is a MMA practitioner, okay, and he is challenging Tai Chi, and he said that this type of stuff.
多少人信？一堆人信，一堆人信。你们到底？
And he's saying that why is people, when is people going to wake up? Okay, why you guys believe in this kind of stuff?
馆长陈之汉在脸书直播中说，太极是演的，更用这段影片来说明。
大家算一算，2、4、6、8、10、12个人啊，12个人啊，有没有看到12个人啊？他推12个人啊，大家看清楚啦。
So this is in the news on the push hand where one guy can push 12 guys, those kind of stuff.
音浪太强啊！
Okay. So he's challenging it. They say he's an MMA practitioner, and then he challenged. This is in Taiwan. It's in the news. He is challenging the Tai Chi guy. He said, you know, that's why he set up a competition. He said anybody who is having a traditional Chinese martial art, you know, welcome to have a match, okay? Competitions. And this is on the news, okay? There's Tai Chi. And
叶问嘛，电影叶问大家都看过，一个打10个嘛，电影叶问大家都看过，一个打10个。
here it is challenging Wing Chun.
你叶问嘛，电影叶问大家都看过，一个打10个，一个我要打10个，你就要来打10个。
馆长快人快语这段话直接点名。
So this is in the news, okay, and this is who he is. So you have in China, after the April 27, 2017, the MMA player beat the KO the Tai Chi player. You have all this thing going on in China, as you see in the talk show just now, when they say, well, they expose there's a problematic there. And in Taiwan, they say, you know, all this thing is like it's like a cult. Why are people believe in this kind of stuff? Okay, and welcome to come compete with me, this kind of stuff. And then, as in the West, as us in the West, okay, then you see something like that, like this. Okay, I'll show you. Let me get into the proper.
So now this poor guy is in hiding because the Chinese are mad at him for dispelling the myths of their great martial arts teachers. Because martial arts is such an intricate part of their history and culture, they feel like it's a part of them. And when somebody comes along and they challenge this idea, when they show that this is just nonsense, it's basically just religious bullshit, it shakes the foundation of their very belief system, which is why this poor dude's career is over now and he has to go into hiding. It's because in a lot of ways, martial arts has become like a cult to these people. They had these gurus and godmen to look up to. And these gurus and godmen are basically nothing.
Okay. So this is what happened to the traditional Chinese martial art around the world. From China to Taiwan to the West. Okay? Everybody is saying that, why do you believe in this kind of stuff? This is kind of a cult. Okay? So, we like it or not, in general, a lot, okay, we won't say every traditional Chinese martial art, a lot of traditional Chinese martial art has evolved into the cult. And we have this godlike cult leader, okay? Now, that is the issue today. And pointing at the problem, we are not going to solve it, right? And we can keep raising it like this is a cult, this is what we don't like, but we cannot solve it. The more we say, we point at the problem, we still stay with the problem. So what we need is we need the solutions. Okay, it's not trying to point finger at anybody or to point, oh, this is the problem. We can say a million times what is the problem, but if we don't have the solution, we're still stuck. Okay. So one thing we need to be really careful now is that the so-called internal art of China has become a superstitious culture. So what happened is this is past about 100 years, people somehow mix up with some kind of religion classic like Taoism classic and get some magic tricks, okay, and then it evolved to what is so-called internal art today. So it's like everybody can go translate the particular or interpret the particular Taoist classic, and then they are the guru of that particular art and so forth, and the internal art. So it's going on like that. So because of this mix-up, internal art has become a superstitious culture, and as you see just now, the Taiwanese MMA player is challenging. Okay, when are you guys going to wake up? Okay, on this one guy pushed 12 guys, those kind of stuff. Why don't you come to my competition and prove it? Okay, and also in one of these talk show hosts in China said now it revealed the problem of Chinese martial arts, traditional Chinese martial arts. Okay, and so what happened is this. What happened is, after the April 27, 2017 issue or situations or incidents of the Tai Chi, some Tai Chi practitioner, okay, instead of solving their own problem, they get into belittle the other arts, such as the Shaolin art or the external art they talk about, okay, because they are internal art, the Shaolin external art. So this is made in news, okay. Instead of solving their own problem, Tai Chi's own problem, why they lose to MMA, get KO and so forth, they belittle the Shaolin art or the what they name as the external art. And at that point, many of us, the martial artists in Asia, do not buy this, okay? And I made a video to question these people, okay? And I can show you what it is important for you to know too. So over here, you can freeze the frame. So he said here, external boxing or 外家 and internal boxing. So he raised this again. Okay, instead of solving the issue, why is your Tai Chi player get KO in seconds by the MMA player, he get into this. He said, external boxing and internal boxing. Okay, there's a difference. Okay, they say that external boxing, they train you to punch and kick from the beginning. So after 3 years training, the practitioner certainly can fight. And the Tai Chi player practice for 10 years. Okay, they need to practice for 10 years. Okay, again, you can freeze the frame here. He said, Tai Chi focused very much on exploring the inner power. It emphasized flexibility rather than hard strength. Okay, so this guy, instead of solving their own problem, go to the news in Beijing. Okay, and this is you see that there's an English subtitle there, and saying all kinds of this internal art, 内家 external art thing. Well, obviously, many of us martial artists from the southern China don't like this. Okay, and again, this is not appropriate. Okay, and so I make a response. To them. that is where I brought up. So where is your internal art, iYikKam at the time of Grandmaster, the General Qi Guang? Well, show me that, the question then. The second thing is, here is the Shaolin 1784 and other books, okay, which I showed you before, on the Shaolin art, or what they call the external art. Is not for this teaching you to kick and punch. It taught momentum as General Qi Guang prescribed. Okay. So I show the evidence. I say, okay, is it true that external art, what you call, is just kicking and punching, or we study momentum as what General Qi Guang instruct, or Qi Guang's teaching? Okay. And then I show this. You can freeze the screen. So what is this? I say this is the Wing Chun Kun Kui from iYikKam Xiu Lim Tao. This is the Tai Chi Kun Kui. This is the Xing Yi Kun Kui. So this is supposed to be internal art. Writing. Now tell me, what is the difference between the Wing Chun writing of the Xiu Lim Tao and all this so-called internal writing? I asked them, point blank, okay? Well, the fact is, you cannot find a difference between the Wing Chun writing and the Tai Chi writing and the Xing Yi writing. All have the same content. 6 core elements. That's why I pulled it up. Okay. So I asking here. So are you saying that Wing Chun Queen do not practice internal cultivation, development, and using brutal hard force, as he is claiming there in his interview, saying that, oh, you know, the internal, we train internal power, those kind of stuff, and external people like Shaolin, they just kick and punching, and after 3 years they know how to fight. So I show by evidence. Okay. So and I show this. This is the shot from the MMA player KO defeat the Tai Chi player. This is the 1784, the Shaolin short strike writing. And I show how it violating the teaching of here. You violate that momentum teaching, you expect to get KO, okay? So don't tell me all about this internal and all this thing, okay? So I show one other thing. This is a very famous, in Western, we have this classic here, okay? You can freeze the screen if you want, and this is in Chinese. So, okay, here you can freeze the screen in Chinese. So you can see. Okay, so what's the problem with this? The guy, the grandmaster who wrote this in Chinese, is confused, very confusing between breathing and the energy in the body, which the Chinese call qi. He is very confusing. Okay, so what are you talking about? Are you talking about breathing, or are you talking about the qi in the body, as the Chinese refer as the energy? Okay, energy Chinese refer as qi. And over there are malpractice. For example, you want to have qi to stay in your dantian area and everything. Okay, those are malpractice, known malpractice. Okay, but because people took this from the Taoists without really examining it, that's what happened. And you know what? When it gets translated into the English, the entire thing turned into the energy within the body, qi. So in other words, is that the Chinese who wrote that thing is confused about it is a breathing or is talking about the energy in the body. Okay, the writing is confused about that. And the second thing is the practice. If it is on the energy or the qi practice or the meridian practice, there's a malpractice there that can cause problem. Known in Chinese Qigong practice, that's causing problem. Okay. Now, when it translates to the English, the entire thing become the energy. Okay, this mysterious energy you have to put in your body and so forth. You want to expect anybody in the West develop anything? Sorry, that is even violating the Chinese ancient practice. Okay. And this kind of stuff, that's why I show it out there. And this is the stuff that when you ask the Western scientists asking, what is qi, and you cannot explain. Why? Because you have no idea what it is. So how can you explain? If you know what is it between the breathing and the qi, you can go to the lab and you can tell the Western scientists, this is about breathing. You see, I can now handle the breathing this way. This is my body energy. You can measure my body, say my blood flow, blah, blah, blah. Okay? Instead of, oh, this is qi, this is Taoist qi. The Western scientists do not know what it is. Okay? Now, another thing at the same YouTube is also this guy. This Tai Chi guy, Grandmaster. So he is saying that, receive, okay? Receive, neutralize, and Fajing is the core of the Chinese traditional martial art. If you don't know that, you cannot represent Chinese martial arts. Well, sorry, Qi Ji Guang doesn't say that. Qi Ji Guang and Sun Tzu say that it's momentum. It's not receiving, neutralizing, and Fajing. Those are push hand, okay? And this guy couldn't even get it clear, this Tai Chi guy. And guess what? He took a video with Peter Ivan, MMA player in Europe. And then he claimed that he beat the MMA. He put it in the YouTube. And turns out that we know that what happened in the West, we know that this is just editing the thing to make him look good. Okay? So I make a video for that to show what's going on. So East or West, we need to get straight, okay? We need to solve the problem. We don't want to finger pointing. And we don't want to just smear the problem to somebody else. And from this, the notion is to show that what is this internal art stuff beside all this like cult-like of culture. Okay? Now, we Wing Chun don't want to touch those kind of culture. No, don't use the name like the Chinese talk show host just now who mentioned the problem. There's problem in traditional Chinese martial art like the code like get exposed and so forth. like Wing Chun, we don't want to follow other people's, because if we think that those kind of code is advanced, then we are in deep trouble. Okay, and for past few decades, there are many people do that, following the dead track of the so-called Internet of China. And now how are you going to solve that? When they get exposed, okay? And there's somebody who told me that they and my friend and so forth, they say that the Tai Chi, okay, particularly the young Tai Chi, is have this original force flow of Wing Chun and so forth. Okay, fine. Now the Tai Chi guy, the young Tai Chi 4th generations, get KO by the MMA player in China. So look at who bring their force flow out to solve this issue. So do you still want to be the young Tai Chi, the original force flow? And as I point out just now in the video which is I make in Chinese, hey, 1784 we wrote about the momentum. This is Shaolin Art Short Strike. This is where Wing Chun based on. It can tell you directly, point blank, accurately, that you fight that way, you ask for it. You ask for KO. Okay? So what is the fact? What is just following people around using the term internal? Okay? One has to be really careful. Okay. The reason I brought in Qi Guang and momentum is this. Nobody in the past 500 years surpassed Qi Guang. Okay? The Tai Chi guy can say whatever it is, but by evidence, their stuff is copied from Qi Guang. Okay? And in the Southern, we all respect Qi Guang because he is the guy who really fought the pirate, and like the Shaolin and so forth. We get influenced by that. That's what our ancestor, real ancestor is. The Ming Dynasty. That's before the Qing, anti-Qing stuff. Okay, this before that. So because of this, nobody will be able to say anything, and everybody have a common denominator. Okay, a common reference, General Qi Guang and momentum. That is the way to get back to the proper direction. Okay, and as we also know that General Qi Guang is very scientific. Okay, that also is going to clarify that, to say, hey, you know, traditional Chinese martial art is supposed to be like Qi Guang, General Qi Guang here wrote down all this in specific. Okay, particularly the last sentence, he said this. This is momentum. Now I draw for you. This is the key point. Now I write it for you. You go experiment with it. If you are win or you are lose, there's no big deal. Make sure you understand why you win, why you lose, and keeping experiment with it. If you are good, you are not afraid of your opponents. Okay? That's what Qi Guang teach. It's not called like, oh, I'm from the Taoists, or I have this magic power. Okay? As just now you heard that it become a cult. Okay, around the world right now we look at that. There's truth with the people like the like this just now the video saying that no, this is a part of like a part the martial art is kind of cult like. Okay, so we bring back Qi Guang. We brought back Qi Guang, General Qi Guang and his teaching, so that people cannot say, oh, my grandmaster is better than your grandmaster. Okay, those kind of stuff. Now we put General Qi Guang there, legit in the Chinese history, legit in scientific way, and proper in momentum, so everybody have to follow that. Otherwise, then you get into this code again. I'm from the Hmong, I'm from the Taoist, okay? So that's the reason why I bring up Qi Ji Guang. Now, talk about the Wing Chun today. Okay, as you see that it's challenged now too, okay? Because of this stupid movie, okay, the Donnie Yen movie, all this bullshit movie. It challenged in Taiwan, just now I show you, just now in the news, we talk about this Yip Man movie, one guy fight 10 guys, he said, why don't you fight me, those kind of stuff, okay? Now, Wing Chun today is in the crossroad, in the turning point. Now, the name of the game of all martial art is evolve or vanish. No different today or 500 years ago in the time of General Qi Ji Guang. Okay? You evolve, get better, or you vanish. And that's why one thing very important, we need to get all this Hong Kong movie maker, okay? Stop to bullshit and distorted Wing Chun. Because that is not helping Wing Chun, that is just pulling reverse gear, okay? Now, I like to tell you one thing, like in Silicon Valley, when you deal with technology, things change very slowly. Things change very slowly. So technology evolves. However, if you get problem with your technology, you cannot change overnight and you're going to go down with it. So right now, those internal art people is facing that. Suddenly, the technology now meltdown. For Wing Chun, we are lucky, okay? Because since Grandmaster Yip Man time, Wing Chun is proceed in the directions of scientific. Okay? So Wing Chun is in the in the proper direction since Grandmaster Yip Man time. And so we know that right now change is needed, but Wing Chun has already launched the change since Grandmaster Yip Man time. That make a difference, like compare with like for example the internal art such as Tai Chi today, and suddenly you hit the break point, and how can you turn around? Okay, now you know why Grandmaster Yip Man is a grandmaster. Of course, in Wing Chun we have, it's no secret that we always talk good of Grandmaster Yip Man, talk bad about Grandmaster Yip Man, and then we have this all lineage stuff and this politics, right? Let me tell you why it is Grandmaster Yip Man is great. Why he deserves to be a Grandmaster in terms of technology, okay? Don't look at it into this lineage or my relationship, no. Look into the influence of Wing Chun and look into a technical standpoint. The greatness of Grandmaster Yip Man is to set up the directions of Wing Chun, get into the scientific directions. Okay? And he clarified important issue. That is enough to for him deserve to be called the Grandmaster of Wing Chun. Okay? You see, Wing Chun have so many lineage, but Grandmaster Yip Man actually simplify things, make it scientific, okay? And of course, at that time, with the educations and the situations, you only can go for kindergarten or very, very low level. Because you want to bring it into scientific, you want to have many people be able to study it and be effective. So Grandmaster Yip Man did that. And Grandmaster Yip Man do clarify issue for Wing Chun. Okay, I want to show you. In this interview, in this page, he clarified the Wing Chun power, and he clarified that the signature, which is now we can link to 1784. Okay. If I pull in the 1940 iYikKam Xiu Lin Tao kit, you know what? Most people would say, Hendrik, that's your lineage, you made it up. If I say that link to 1784 Shaolin, okay, then everybody will say they have their own Shaolin and everything. But with this, Grandmaster Yip Man clarify that and see the signature of the 1784 Shaolin. Now you have two sources, from the iYikKam lineage, from the Grandmaster Yip Man, who is very scientific. Now we can lock that thing. Okay? And that's why this is one of the greatness of Grandmaster Yip Man. He clarified things before he passing. Okay? Another thing is here. In the last page. He say clearly. Here. Okay, you can do a screenshot. Here. See, there's all kind of rumors, and he clarified that Wing Chun is not the Shaolin Wing Chun. And now, with all the evidence and all this technological history facts which I show you guys, we know he's right. And he have clarified that before his passing. What can you expect? In his time, he can do these clarifications and lead everybody into this scientific way, not into this religious way. Okay? Now, because of him, you create another Grandmaster, Bruce Lee. So why is Bruce Lee great? Well, we can pick up Bruce Lee doesn't know beauty set. You know, I can pick up that Bruce Lee doesn't know the chi stuff from iYikKam Xiu Lin Tao and so forth. I can pick it up there. But that's not the point. Let me tell you why is Bruce Lee great. Because Bruce Lee has surpassed his time. He have accomplished and getting into the state of momentum. Remember, General Chi Chi Guang said, momentum is the key. Bruce Lee has been there. And actually, if you look at this, even though it's a movie, it's just a movie, you look at this.
Where's Frank? Swing night.
Save money on
1 second. Okay, I just, this is this YouTube stuff.
Frank.
Geico Motorcycle. Great rates for great rides.
Okay, you look at the scene. Okay, go look at that scene. It is playing momentum. It is playing like MMA today. 4 zone. That 4 zone I'm talking about, the long range, the long fist range, the close body, the takedown, the ground games, which is General Chi Chi Guang present, is there. So, you know, when people is great, you have to praise them. Bruce Lee is great. He has surpassed into the momentum level. He have get into the four momentum zone like today's MMA. He is there. So I like to tell you that that is what Grandmaster iYikKam have done. That's what Bruce Lee have reached. If you don't have a good teacher, will you get there? You will not get there. Okay, and you can see that from the ladder which I show in one of my YouTube that Bruce Lee this thing for the Wing Chun. Okay. So all this is built out. That's why I'm saying that this is all technology. It built out. See now, from Grandmaster iYikKam to Bruce Lee. Now we are traveling the momentum path. We are not get into the magic power, chi, fudging, those kind of stuff. Okay. And Bruce Lee's momentum and the be able to do fighting in the full momentum zone. That's what today's momentum MMA is about, right? And that fit the General iYikKam's teaching. So if he is not Grandmaster, who is Grandmaster? We can pick at him and say, I can pick at him that he doesn't know Chinese, he doesn't read as much Silin Tao King Kid 1840, he doesn't know about the Shaolin, blah, 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 blah. That's not the point. The point is he achieved it. He is the lead. He is the technological lead. That's why he's a Grandmaster. That's why Grandmaster iYikKam is a Grandmaster, because he is a technological lead in his time to get into the scientific way, and he clarified things. Bruce Lee, he already entered into the momentum realm, he lead into that, and even like in today's MMA standard, you see where he is. Okay. Now, that is a proper direction it goes. Okay. We have to praise people like Grandmaster iYikKam and Bruce Lee, and here on I hope that there's no more quarrel of putting down or belittle them or pick at them. Okay. At least that formally we need to acknowledge their greatness, what they do for Wing Chun. Now, Wing Chun today need to face is this. The organization culture is a problem now. Okay. Today is when we say the Chinese martial art get into the code light. You know where it's from? If you read General iYikKam's books and writing, General iYikKam 1560s, you don't have that. Those kind of code light. It's very scientific. If you learn about General iYikKam, right? Studying the Japanese samurai sword, the material, it's practically, as I say, like some CEO in the Silicon Valley. Okay, just get everything down to detail and no BS. Okay, and I want to combine all the style, the good one, and so forth. Not like my lineage, your lineage, and my godlike Grandmaster Sifu, Xigong, Xizhou. The culture, the organized culture, the code-like mentality is actually after the Ming Dynasty. Because at that time, the anti-Qing group have to organize itself in a small group. That is where the today's mentality come in. Like, hey, my lineage is the best. My leader is the guru. Because of this small group anti-Qing. And it carry too far away, when it fused or mixed with the religion, it become that, like today's thing. That's why that we know where it come from. It's not from General iYikKam. It's after that. It's in the Qing dynasty. Okay, it's related to this, the anti-Qing group. Okay. So like in Wing Chun, our salutation. Okay. Our salutation. This is the hand gesture to show who we are. Okay. those kind of stuff. Now, so what is the solution? Because we know that the martial art is a technology. We know today, if we get into the university environment or the open source environment, they will lead to expand and successful, because the high-tech success that way from university environment and the open source environment. Okay? So, the group, like the anti-Qing group culture, but you buy C to who, you buy C to who, you learn this, you're not supposed to learn from other people. It is good, it fits best in the Qing dynasty. It doesn't fit well in the Qi Guang. Qi Guang doesn't do that. Qi Guang want to have everything together. And today's society is in the university education type and in the open source type. If you want to grow, you have to go university type or open source type. Because this is not Qing dynasty anymore. Okay? So the organization culture of Wing Chun need to evolve. Okay? Now, saying this far, we know already. If you look at the Wing Chun history for past few decades, where Grandmaster Yip Man goes scientific, curl fighting, Bruce Lee get into the momentum level, which is converged with General Qi Guang. In this past few decades after Grandmaster Yip Man passed away and Bruce Lee passed away, guess what? People going toward what is the most authentic, what is the oldest lineage. Talk about the king of Kung Fu, ancient grandmaster. And then he talk about my interpretations. This is how I do it. Okay? And by the way, for this my interpretation stuff, if I'm not wrong, Nan Huaijing, the great scholar of the Chinese culture, is saying that, you know what? People saying that Chinese culture have 1,000 years of culture, but I said, no, it's only 30 years. Why? Because a Sifu was always saying that, oh, this is my interpretation, and the next generation, there's another next interpretation. So where is your 100 years of culture come from? Okay, if I'm not wrong, this is what Nan Huaijing said. So this is another problem. Is it Wing Chun? No. It is somebody invented in that 30 years on their own thing. That's why today, you know, in Chinese martial art, you say Zhou Wing Chun, you have this Hendrik Wing Chun, all this Wing Chun. Okay, is that a Wing Chun, or is Wing Chun created within 30 years, according to Nan Huaijing, right? Now, another thing is you go the technique base. Oh, my technique has to do this, your technique has to do this, this is a better technique. So going older, going authentic, going to the lineage, going to the ancient grandmaster or the king of the Kung Fu, and my interpretations, and this is the techniques that are supposed to be used, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm doing? This actually going backward. So you have Grandmaster Yip Man and Bruce Lee going this way. And you get into this oldest, most authentic and lineage and ancient grandmaster, my interpretation, my technique, blah, 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 is going the other direction. That's why it gets stuck. That's why it become the movie, the Wing Chun movie. That's why now you get the challenge in Taiwan by the MMA guy. But if you go Bruce Lee way, nobody going to challenge you. Because if you show that Samuel Hong Gampo and Wing Chun's and Bruce Lee's fighting scene in the Enter Dragon, show it to the MMA player and see that is the concept. of Wing Chun. Will anybody say anything? Okay. So we need to follow who is Grandmaster Yip Man's direction and so forth and evolve from that. We cannot go back to the I'm the oldest, I'm the most authentic, my Sifu is this guy, this is my interpretations, and I call it my Wing Chun. If you don't like it, that cut the whole thing away from the past. That actually stopped us from going forward. So it's stuck there. And then when you start, it becomes a cult. Why it become a cult? Because it's going to create all kinds of story just to promote the cult leader to sell their product. And there's a lot of burden there. Okay. That's why if you look at the challenge in Taiwan, nobody say a thing, and people say, "Oh, there's no mo tak if you're doing this and that." Imagine if Bruce Lee is here today. If it is in the Grandmaster Yip Man time, the Hong Kong, you heard about the Kong Sao time, right away you're going to do that. We now lose is different stuff, okay? But you have somebody stand up. Because it's technology. It's not using mo tak or anything as an alibi to when people get into this, right? That's reality. You like a martial art, you need to take the challenge. Like, for example, in the Silicon Valley, if somebody create a new product, you better follow it or you get obsolete. When people are using tablet computer, are you going to still think that I'm going to use the big personal computer? You can. You have to evolve. And as we know, General Chi Chi Kuang already said, and General Chi Chi Kuang already have done, evolve with the Japanese pirate. If he doesn't evolve with the Japanese pirate, he's gone. Okay? That's the bottom line. That's, again, I say there's no Taoist or no this enlightened monk to teach Kung Fu to anybody. Chi Chi Kuang did that to protect his people from the pirate. Okay? Now, so I go through this with you so you can see what's the situation. We need the solutions. And for years, if you watch my video, this iYikKam, the platform, Wing Chun West platform, you can see that I'm building things up. Okay? And what the direction I do is no different than Grandmaster Yip Man and Bruce Lee. Okay? And if you check even Grandmaster Wang Shun Leong, you look at his writing and his article and so forth, he's going scientific way also. Okay? The difference between them and me is because today, you know what, I have this internet world. Okay? I can sit in here and go around the world, search for all information I need in the past, and I can link the dot up together. And then I can test it up with different people around the world, saying, okay, you do this, you do this, you do this. Don't even have to see you. Will you get the result? All this experiment, okay? So there's a difference between me and them. Okay? I have more information access. I can access more information. Do I be greater than all those people? No. In fact, as I tell everybody, I'm just an engineer. My job is to solve problems, to provide solutions. I'm not a grandmaster. You want to call grandmaster? Grandmaster Yip Man is a grandmaster. Bruce Lee is a grandmaster. Wang Shun Leong is a grandmaster. I'm not a grandmaster. Make it clear, okay? I'm just an engineer. I solve problems. I provide solutions, so everybody can go on better. And that's my duty. That's all, okay? So, what I present to you right now with this Wing Chun West era is the open source educations, okay, depend what you want to call it, open source or education platform. I present to you actually two tools. One is analysis tools and another one is synthesis tools. Because only with this we can speed up our thing and we can see things clearly. Okay, this is a different era. 6.13.3 is a full coverage analysis tools. If you have 6.13.3, you can analyze ancient Chinese martial art to today's martial arts. You can analyze it because it's based on the law of physics. It's based on the ancient teaching and so forth. Okay, it is a hybrid. So it's analytical tools. Okay, like here in Silicon Valley, you want to design something high speed, meaning that get into production fast. You better have a good analysis tools. Okay, now. The 4 fundamental level of Wing Chun technology is a synthesized tools. Now the thing, the state in the other, and I present it more clearly in the other YouTube. Okay, of the 2C state, 3B state, 4A state, 5A state, those are the synthesized tools. Because right now we don't want to go into the really bottom anymore. We want to synthesize with different blocks. Okay. That's how we design things here. We cannot just still going down to really minimum, because right now we talk about a huge systems. Okay. So the 4 level and the 6.13.3 4 level is the analysis tool, analytical tool, and the 4 level is the synthesis tools. Okay. Now with the synthesis tools, then you can go play with a momentum. Okay? Now, anybody, after they go through the 5A level of the synthesis tool, when they get back to their practicing their sets and their chi style, they will notice one thing. They will notice that without the 5A level achieved, the sets become a ritual. The chi style is not going to give you a lot of benefit. Okay. So 2 tools I present in this. Okay, and many friends ask me, so what is a legit? Okay. What I like to tell all Wing Chuners is that if you like my the open source system platform which is I presented, every scientific aid is a good aid. Whatever you want to invent, to whatever, as soon as it's scientific, it is a good aid. You don't need my approval or anybody's approval. Scientific law of physics, the Earlier law and pro-classics, like what you say in the 6.13.3, is the bottom line, not other people else. And you know it works, it's not work. Okay. And I put out there 2 books. There's a reference book. One is the 6.13.3, another is a short strike. That's a reference book. Okay? So that is like in the software, the open source technology, you can reference that. Okay, what's going on there. Okay? And then with that you can evolve with your own creativity. Okay? And there's no need to fear of what is going to come and change. Why? With this open source platform, once you get that, you can tailor things for your school. You can improve from here on. Because the whole ultimate thing is this. I'm just repeating what General Chi Guang said. This is the momentum. Now I draw for you. This is the key point. Now I make a note for you. Go experiment with it. Win or lose is no big deal. Find out what works, what doesn't work, and what is the reason, what is the cause, and what is the effect, and evolve from there. That's all. There's no burden. There's no need to say, well, I'm a grandmaster so and so. I have to always beat other people or the best fighter. Even General Chi Guang don't say that. So why should we say that? Okay? It's only the code guy who said, in the ancient time, I have this Taoist, like for example, Zhang Sanfeng. He is the top of the guy. He is the ultimate. and then he know everything, he is the everything, and I am his descendant. And then when people ask you to prove yourself, you get scared. The MMA asks you to prove yourself, you get scared because you don't know what it is. You only know about the story of the godlike people who not even exist. Because who exists is who? General Qi Guang. Okay? So what I want to leave with you today is, remember Grandmaster Qi Guang. Remember Grandmaster Yip Man. Remember Grandmaster Bruce Lee. That's how the whole line go. And as for all this history and technical thing, I have sorted out for you in my books, in this video, for free. Okay, you guys are clever guys, smart guys, you can figure it out. Okay, and because I don't want people to bug me too, you know, I actually afraid of teaching and so forth thing. And people don't like me to teach too, because I get into my engineering mode. I'm going to pick up everything and I'm just going to tear apart everything, so go rebuild it. Okay, and people don't like it, I know. Okay, you can hear people who I kick out from my class. Okay, when I have time to teach with hobby. So you guys are smart guy, the information is out there. Just go fly. Sky is the limit. Okay, don't look at me. Look at General Qi Guang, Grandmaster Yip Man, Bruce Lee, and follow them and go. So this is for you today.